Hello, and thank you for joining us for this episode of That Solo Life, the podcast for PR pros and marketers who work for themselves. People like me, Michelle Kane of Voice Matters, and my wonderful as ever co-host, Karen Swim of Solo PR Pro, the group that pulls us solos all together. Hey, Karen, how are you today?
Hi, Michelle. I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We're in the sweltering season of summer as we record this, and even though that sounded terrible, it really isn't that bad. It's nice to see some sunshine, feel the warmth, and feel the heat. Am I selling it?
We are off of a little tiny summer break that we took to regroup. And so it's good to be back. Really miss the audience, really miss recording and chatting with you, Michelle. So we're 100%. Back, and we're back with a topic that we love and we hate, with a different take on it.
Yeah, speaking of heat, artificial intelligence. We spied a clip from, I believe, forgive me if I get her handle incorrect, I believe it is Under the Desk News. And this person had gone to an AI conference, and forgive me off the top of my head, I forget which one, but she brought to mind some really interesting things about AI that made us go, So then, Karen, you found a study from the World Economic Forum that brings more of, I guess, a business mind to it. And just, as we look through the details of this, the one thing that comes to my mind is, well, a couple of things, right? This is happening so fast, and many of us in our day-to-day don't see it. We may feel it, and sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. And second of all, are enough of us paying attention to everything that is happening so that we can stay current, wrap our heads around this, and really do our due diligence in our day-to-day?
Yeah, I want to say that the influencer who did the video, she went to the conference, and what she presented was what companies are saying and thinking about AI that we're not always hearing publicly. And basically, we can all rest assured that companies are thinking AI first. They just are. And this future of jobs report from the World Economic Forum, and it's a 2025 report. It was released earlier this year, but what I found really interesting about it is it looks at where are we going to be in the next 5 years? Again, what companies are thinking and what shifts are happening that are going to impact the job market. And this is, I think we will obviously link to all of these things in the show notes.
Yeah.
But I think that it's really important to dig into these things and to be looking 5 and 10 years out, no matter where you are in your career, so that you understand how to position yourself and what things you need to add, learn, or get better at so that you can protect your own career, whether you are a solo or whether you are employed in corporate America.
Yeah. And that was one of the key findings was that, this is going to sound like a duh moment, but a broadening digital access. And, I know oftentimes we can get scared or think doom and gloom, AI is going to start doing everything. But as we've often said, it's really more of a shift and aligning your skill sets with what's coming. And I think we as communicators can look forward to this in a way, because it is still going to need interpretation and collaboration. And if anything, could this bring back some critical thinking? Because that's still going to be necessary. And it's definitely going to be necessary from the human level. Yeah.
Agree. I was actually very pleased to see that this report, because right now, it is what it is. We are in this era where AI definitely is replacing jobs. And that is the mindset of organizations, that where they can deploy AI to replace workers, they are doing it. However, the fastest growing skills by 2030 will not only be the technological skills, according to this report, but it'll be alongside human skills like cognitive skills, collaboration. And I thought that was very heartening, because we as PR pros have been, ringing that bell that you need critical thinking. You need to know how to engage with people. You need these human skills, and it's not an AI but it's an AI plus humans together. So we're not there, but the future looks like we will get there. And so these skill sets that we have as PR pros will definitely be in demand, but you're going to need the technological skill set to go with those human skills. So it's going to be a blend of those two, not either or.
Yeah, truly. We can no longer hide from it, or, just not want to get into it, because it's here, and we definitely need to. And I don't know, I'm excited about it. I think it's in our nature. Anytime something new comes along, it should be exciting. As far as, how can this help me do what I do? How can this help me serve people better? And I think in our line of work, we're especially attuned to being good at this. So that was hard. I mean, certainly, of course, then you get the splash of reality. One of their other findings was general economic slowdown. Good times. But, and certainly a shakeup like this is going to affect, cost of living, what people are making. I mean, that's a never-ending topic, right? And we already know that wages in general are not keeping up with cost of living. Right now here, I'm way out in the suburbs, but Philadelphia union municipal workers, they're on strike. So nobody's picking up trash right now because they want to be paid a living wage, and absolutely they should be. So it's always going to be a thing, but AI is definitely going to play a part in that.
Yeah, when we reach that point in history where we see this shift from declining jobs and then the growth of different types of jobs. So it comes as not really a surprise to any of us that the top fastest declining jobs, at the top of the list, postal service clerks. Well, that kind of makes sense because you can have AI do a lot of those things, and then you can have self-serve, which we're seeing that be replaced. Bank tellers and those types of clerks, data entry, cashiers, ticket clerks, administrative assistants, and executive secretaries. Remember when that was just such a great job for people? And we've already seen it declining. Street vendors, graphic designers, no surprise, print, those in print, we are already seeing that stuff go away. But the top fastest growing jobs at the top of the list is big data specialists. What does this kind of mean to us? In this Future of Jobs report, I love some of the examples used, like them saying that for specialized workers, that utilizing AI would allow them to deliver more value and use AI in really smart ways. So, for example, nursing was listed. Nurses using AI would allow them to expand their value and their skill set because they could do more things with this assist from technology. So, again, I love when it's empowering people and allowing them to grow in their professions and to be even more help because they have this technological tool rather than saying, let's get rid of them and, we'll just have robots take care of people. That's not exactly where we're heading. So, electricians, doctors, and engineers, they were like, AI would give them access to the best and latest information so that they could do their jobs better. So as PR pros, I think it's vitally important. I still see a subset of PR pros that want to give these long, dissertations on why AI can't write or why we shouldn't use it for these things and why we shouldn't buy all into it. But that's not going to change the future of where the world is headed. Some of those arguments are very true, and I agree with them. But I think it's important for us to say, okay, what are companies thinking? The companies that would hire me. I think that means smaller teams for everybody because there are, some of the rote tasks you can use AI. But I think more importantly, it's looking into what the expectation of organizations are going to have, what expectations will organizations have in 5, in 10 years, and saying, okay, as a PR pro, how can I align with those expectations? And how can I solve the problems that they're looking to solve? And what technological skills do I need to gain or improve in order to be able to meet that need?
Yeah. 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 Because I mean, you come back to the analytical thinking that's going to be in demand. And that really is second nature in what we do. Some might call it troubleshooting or being that little cloud of doom, but it's bigger than that. Just being able to strategize and look at the big picture and also how it affects all the details. That analytical thinking is definitely going to be in demand. And I agree. Don't be afraid of the new technology. It doesn't mean you have to love it, but certainly get to know it, know how to use it, know how to use it to your advantage and to those of the clients that you serve. Because, clients, let's flip it the other way. That's what they're going to look for because all they hear is AI, AI, AI. And I know you may have heard some saying, well, I could just pop that into AI and write it. It's like, you can, but it's not going to be effective. So, I mean, let's frame it this way. AI can write it is probably the new my teenager can do it, right?
Yeah.
It's a similar concept, just a shift in their outlook. So, and those people probably aren't a good fit for you anyway, clearly. So if you think of it in those terms, it's not as daunting.
That is probably the most common argument that I hear is, public relations professionals railing against AI doing the writing. But here's how I look at it. And I'm a writer. I'm somebody that started out ghostwriting. I love writing. I have always been a writer. I love how the humanity of spinning the written word and telling stories. But I think that there's also this reality that we all have to accept is that, okay, AI writing is not good as human writing, but where is AI good enough for the people who will pay us? So I hate to say this, but we have to shift and we have to really understand how we sell the value of writing to clients. Could that mean that we're not dying on a hill for blog posts or social media content, but maybe we're dying on a hill for the things that those communications that really, really matter. Maybe we're starting to do more types of communications and applying storytelling in areas where it's lacked and it could really drive the needle forward. And when I say drive the needle forward, I'm talking about reputation management and the number one thing that all companies care about, making money. Because if they don't make money, there is no business. And I think that we have to get super comfortable with that. When we talk about AI, we always talk about these low hanging fruit tasks, but what about using AI to deliver more business intelligence to your client, things that help them to see ahead, to know what trends they should be leaning into, things that are actually helping their business and supporting them reaching their audience. I do think when I see that big data scientist is a growing profession, I think to some degree, we all need to have a little bit of that skill set and look at how can we apply that to our slice of the pie and deliver something different to our clients. Things like, even media relations and traditional media, we're beginning to care less about that. And clients are beginning to care less about that. And I think it's because it's here and it's gone and it doesn't have to be. And we all know that. But we do need to start thinking about what does my offering look like a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? What are clients really going to pay me for? Because we are already seeing like this shift where clients don't value some of the things that we do anymore and budgets are being cut and maybe they don't want all of the things that we used to package together. So does that mean that you're taking smaller engagements? Not necessarily. It just means that you've got to be ahead. You've got to be 3 steps ahead, 5 steps ahead, and not just right on that line where you're like, but what?
Yeah.
But it's
no. I love what you said about getting to those things, the deeper dives that, let's face it, if we're doing the simple deliverables for our clients, and they're necessary, don't get me wrong, But if we're spending the bulk of our time on that and we never get to those things, think about it. Offloading some things, using AI to get rid of as you say, the low-hanging fruit, and then being able to really dig in and really deliver something worthwhile for your clients. How fun is that? I mean, that's exciting, and it's of even deeper value. We're always talking about demonstrating your value to your clients, and I just think it's a good thing, but we have to get there.
We do have to get there. And I mean, this is not, I want to be clear, this is not a commercial for AI. Like,
No.
yay, we're all in. This is take control of your future, because I think that that's so important. And I'm really passionate about solo PR pros having a business that sustains their life, but that also excites them. I think that everybody should have the business that they want, and that's going to look different for every individual. What I don't want to see happen is, to a small degree, what's happening to people in PR right now is that people are seeing their business go away. I don't want that for you.
Yeah.
And there is
Right.
a way to not just barely survive, but to thrive. And it's going to take a shift in how we think and a shift in what we deliver by going levels deeper. And we've said this in, a few different ways this year, but these reports like this just validate kind of what we've been saying. We cannot, we're not superheroes who can go freeze time and go back to yesterday. No matter how much some things of yesterday I think are so much better than what we have today. It's just like, I can't stop people from, there's this huge shift and it's already happening, and we can't put the genie back in the bottle, unfortunately, but we can protect ourselves and we can protect our jobs.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Well, we hope this gave you a lot to think about. Don't get freaked out. Just take things bit by bit and know that your solo community is here for you. Solo PR Pro is here for you. Check us out at soloprpro.com. Hit us up in the comments. We want to hear from you. What are you thinking about AI? How is it impacting you? Please, please, please send us your comments and we can maybe talk about them in a future episode. But until then, thanks for listening to That Solo Life.